Nigel Farage has made a stunning move, demanding an emergency meeting with King Charles over a secretive UK-US trade deal struck by Prime Minister Keir Starmer and former President Donald Trump. Behind the flashy headlines and smiling handshakes lies a chilling truth. British sovereignty may have just been sold off. Is this a historic alliance or a silent surrender? What's really behind the Trump deal? And why is Farage warning the monarchy itself? In a twist that has rocked Westminster and raised alarm across the country, Nigel Farage has returned to the political front lines with a bold and dramatic demand an urgent, unscheduled private audience with King Charles. Why? Because, in his words, Britain is being quietly and dangerously sold out. At the heart of this storm is Prime Minister Keir Starmer's so-called historic trade deal with Donald Trump, a deal Farage and many others claim threatens the very sovereignty of the United Kingdom. While government spin doctors boast of economic gains, jobs saved, tariffs reduced, and stronger ties with the United States, the truth lurking beneath the surface tells a far darker story. Farage calls it a historic betrayal, and as more details come to light, that description feels less like hyperbole and more like a dire warning. The reality, say critics, is that Britain has traded its industrial backbone, regulatory independence, and national pride for a photo opportunity and political applause. At the center of this crisis is what the UK is receiving in return. A wave of cheap American imports, beef, ethanol, and more that threaten to swamp British markets and destroy local farming communities. Ministers are quick to assure the public that food standards will remain high. But can those promises be trusted when the fine print of this deal was negotiated behind closed doors and signed without public or parliamentary consent? This isn't just about trade, this is about control. Control over British laws, British food, British security, and British identity. To Farage, it's clear that this deal places that control squarely in the hands of foreign powers and elite global interests. And the British people. They weren't even consulted. In a move as symbolic as it is serious, Farage's approach to the king isn't mere pageantry, it's a constitutional warning. By stepping beyond party politics and directly addressing the crown, he signals that the stakes have risen above normal political friction. This is a crisis of national direction. It's not about left versus right anymore. It's about the people versus the machine. And that machine, Farage says, just tightened the noose around Britain's independence. Farage didn't stop with his appeal to the king. He voiced the anger and betrayal felt by millions of farmers watching their livelihoods eroded, workers misled by false promises, and voters who believed in British strength, And on top of it all, the timing of the deal couldn't be more insulting. VE Day. A day meant to celebrate freedom from tyranny, used instead for Starmer and Trump to pose for cameras while quietly locking the UK into a one-sided agreement. Meanwhile, Reform UK Farage's political movement is gathering momentum. Voters who once gave their trust to the Tories or Labour now find themselves politically homeless. They've had enough of stage-managed photo ops, backroom negotiations, and endless compromises. Reform UK offers a voice for those tired of the deception, a force to break the cycle, even within the conservative ranks. Cracks are showing. Senior figures like Shadow Business Secretary Andrew Griffith have publicly condemned the deal, calling it a national humiliation. He's not alone. Others have criticized the agreement as shallow, ineffective, and dangerously symbolic. The deal does nothing to address critical UK sectors like technology, healthcare, or the NHS. It ignores harmful US tariffs on British film exports and fails to level the economic playing field. This isn't a long-term solution, it's a political stunt rushed to generate headlines. Even Labour's own Treasury Secretary Darren Jones was forced to admit that the deal is not ideal, but merely better than nothing. Is that the standard Britain must now accept, a deal that's simply less bad than the worst-case scenario? And the number being touted, 150,000 jobs saved, is being weaponized. Sign the deal, or people suffer. That's not negotiation. That's extortion. That's using the British workforce as bargaining chips in an international power play. Is that really leadership? Farage sees through the smokescreen. He knows that Britain's digital economy is still under threat. He knows that Trump's retaliatory tariffs are far from gone. And he knows that this deal opens the door to further erosion of British industry, farming, and self-rule. This isn't just about one trade agreement. This is about the future of British sovereignty. Today, it's beef and ethanol. Tomorrow could be data, healthcare, and defense. What else is up for grabs? The public is beginning to wake up. They see a government bending over backward to please foreign leaders while ignoring the concerns of its own citizens. They see a political class more concerned with headlines than with hard truths. And they see a man like Nigel Farage, not perfect by any means, but unafraid to challenge power even if it means standing alone. His meeting with King Charles wasn't just a formality, it was a warning shot. Britain is not on the edge of a political crisis, it is in the middle of one. The Trump-Starmer deal is not a historic victory, it's a quiet surrender. And unless the people push back, this may be only the beginning. Don't. So ask yourself, who truly controls Britain's future? The voters or the global deal-makers behind the scenes? This was today's most crucial update. As always, we remind our viewers that we present only verified facts and real developments. No spin, no lies, just the truth the mainstream won't say out loud. If you found this breakdown informative, please like the video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Info Britain channel.